This August 20th, 2020, we're thankful to have you watching CNN 10. We're thankful to have you watching anytime. I'm Carl Azuz, and the first story we're explaining today is a controversy concerning mail-in voting in America. Here's a down-the-middle look at what's going on. Every U.S. state has some way for Americans to vote without actually appearing at a polling location. Because of concerns over the spread of coronavirus, interest has exploded in mail-in voting. CNN 10 contributor Kelly Manno has info on how exactly that works. Kelly.
Thanks, Carl. Now let's take a look at what mail-in or absentee voting means. Traditionally, the majority of voters show up in person to cast their ballots for primary and general elections. Vote by mail is when voters opt out of showing up in person to then cast their ballot through the mail. This process, depending on the state, usually starts when a voter requests their ballot through the mail. Then, election officials send the official ballot to the voter who fills it out and sends it back to be counted. At least 34 states now allow voters to request an absentee ballot without the need of an excuse. Currently, 7 states require an excuse to vote by mail, places like New York and Texas, though that may change. Other places, like California and Nevada, have decided to send a ballot to every registered voter, even those who didn't apply for the mail option. Carl, the question now remains, with the pandemic creating a once-in-a-lifetime challenge for elections, what impact will this have on the general election in the fall?
Thanks, Kelly. That question is at the root of a blooming controversy. The Trump administration is planning to sue Nevada and at least one other state for their plans to mail a ballot to every voter. Many Republicans and critics of mail-in voting say it increases the risk of fraud, in part because election officials, like poll workers, won't be there in person to make sure the votes are cast freely and fairly. Many Democrats and supporters of mail-in voting say it's already been shown to work in several states and that it opens up the opportunity to vote to more people. A number of experts on this issue say it's not clear if mail-in voting benefits one party over the other, that there's no guarantee that either Democrats or Republicans would have an advantage with mail-in ballots. But an American infectious disease specialist says as long as people follow social distancing guidelines, there's no reason why they can't vote in person this fall. So how all this plays out remains to be seen.
This is AP News Minute. California Senator Kamala Harris formally became the Democratic Party's vice presidential nominee Wednesday night. She addressed the virtual Democratic convention from Wilmington, Delaware, speaking about the nation's long struggle for racial justice and condemning President Trump's leadership. Former presidential nominee Hillary Clinton also spoke at the Democratic convention, saying she wished Donald Trump were a better president. Former President Barack Obama said Trump won't grow into the job of president, quote, because he can't. President Trump says the U.S. wants all United Nations sanctions placed back on Iran. He said Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will go to the UN Thursday to accuse Iran of significant non-compliance with the 2015 nuclear deal. About 24 major wildfires are burning throughout Northern California, threatening thousands of homes. Crews are also dealing with numerous small fires. Thousands of people are under evacuation orders.